Hytale's dungeons are nothing like you might expect at first glance. Most people imagine simple caves full of enemies, but what's being built here goes far deeper. These aren't random underground halls where you mindlessly fight mobs until a treasure drops. What Hytale is shaping up to deliver are fully realized adventure spaces with structure, challenge, and purpose. From mini-boss encounters to unique final bosses, from internal progression paths to varying levels of difficulty, every dungeon feels like a crafted experience. And the best part? Not all of them are even the same. There are multiple types of dungeons confirmed for Hytale. Some will be small and quick, perfect for early exploration. Others will be large and sprawling, packed with multiple encounters and secrets. Then there are epic dungeons designed to test not just skill, but strategy and patience. But it doesn't stop at combat. There will also be cozy dungeons, where puzzles, exploration, and discovery take center stage. And beyond that, some dungeons are directly tied to the game's story and lore, offering narrative experiences that go far beyond loot drops. Early access looks like it will already include small dungeons that introduce players to the system, but the real excitement comes with what's hinted at beyond that. One of the most fascinating pieces of this puzzle is difficulty. There's talk of harder versions of dungeons, something akin to a hard mode designed for groups of players. These versions aren't just stronger enemies, they feel like reimagined challenges, clearly intended for coordinated teams. Classic RPG roles come into play here, with ideas like tank, healer, and damage dealer shaping how players might approach these challenges together. Solo players will still have opportunities to explore and complete dungeons on their own, but it's unclear whether the most difficult versions will ever truly be solo friendly. This focus on teamwork and roles isn't random. The development team behind Hytale drew inspiration from the kinds of cooperative adventures players have shared for years in classic RPGs. Games where roles aren't just labels, but vital elements of success. That design philosophy seems woven into how Hytale approaches dungeon encounters. These aren't throwaway combat zones. They're systems built to be interacted with, strategized around, and conquered together. Some of these dungeons already exist within the game in unfinished form. From early builds and tools, players can access instance menus with dungeons that reveal structured rooms and mechanics. These early spaces already show mini-bosses and foundational encounter loops that hint at what completed dungeons will feel like. They aren't just random monster spawning points, they're layouts with purpose, pacing, and design DNA that suggests a much deeper system beneath the surface. But what's even more exciting is what the community might do with this system. Hytale's creative tools look set to allow players to modify, extend, or entirely redesign dungeon experiences. Whether it's adding mobs, crafting new traps, designing puzzles, or reshaping layouts, the potential for player-crafted dungeon content is enormous. Imagine custom raids, narrative-driven dungeon arcs, or unique challenge rooms built by creators around the world. This isn't just modding, it's expanding the game into a platform for shared adventure creativity. Not all dungeons will be isolated spaces either. Some will be seamlessly integrated into the world itself, thanks to procedural world generation. Ruins, caverns, and other underground zones will appear naturally as you explore. These world dungeons blend sandbox exploration with adventure design. Breakable blocks, respawning enemies, hidden treasure rooms, and environmental surprises make them feel alive. They aren't static instances, but part of the world's fabric waiting to be discovered. Then there are the narrative dungeons, those that connect deeply to Hytale's lore. These spaces serve not just as combat challenges, but as storytelling vehicles. Through encounters, environmental clues, and design beats, they could reveal events from Orbis's past or present. Cinematic moments, scripted sequences, and lore revelations may be part of these narrative adventures. They offer players more than loot. They offer context, meaning, and immersion into the world's history. And of course, we can't talk about dungeons without talking about loot. In Hytale, loot appears to be tied closely to the identity of each dungeon. Whether you're exploring simple dungeons or conquering hard mode and story-linked depths, the rewards you find will matter. Loot won't just be better numbers, it will reinforce distinct playstyles and roles. Gear focused on defense and survivability will empower tanks. Items with support abilities will elevate healers. Weapons and equipment centered on speed, precision, or raw damage will define damage dealers. This creates an identity loop where what you find changes how you play, and how you play influences where you go next. This isn't simple sandbox progression, it's a system that encourages experimentation, synergy, and replayability. Dungeon runs become meaningful because they shape your character, your team, and your story. They aren't just challenges to overcome, they're opportunities to grow, adapt, and explore new facets of the game. What we're seeing so far paints a picture of a dungeon system with purpose, variety, and creativity at its core. From handcrafted narrative experiences to world user-generated adventure zones. From community-driven designs to structured RPG-style encounters, Hytale's dungeon vision feels ambitious, layered, and alive. This isn't just another combat loop, it's a network of experiences that connect exploration, story, cooperation, and identity in a way few sandbox RPGs attempt, and that's precisely why so many players are excited, because once early access drops and these doors open for everyone, the world beneath Orbis might just become the most compelling place you've ever explored.